Hello and welcome to the final virtual newsletter for Kerwin State High School for Term 1. And hard to believe, but we are very rapidly heading towards the end of term, and it's been a fantastic term and lots of wonderful student success and some fantastic teaching and learning that has been occurring. A real highlight for me over this last week has been the opportunity to attend a number of the celebration parades that we've had here at the school, where we've been able to recognise a huge diversity of student achievements. And what I like about these parades is we get to sort of pay attention to the little things. We get to acknowledge those students who've attended every single day, or those students who have very high levels of effort and behaviour, who perhaps wouldn't otherwise be acknowledged. So it's a great opportunity to draw attention to them and acknowledge their wonderful contribution towards the school, as well as some of the other outstanding achievements that have been occurring across the school as well. So that's been really a fantastic highlight. We've also had a lot of serious teaching and learning activities occurring. In the last week, we've undertaken our NAPLAN School Readiness Test, which is about students being able to actually use the online platform, because we are doing NAPLAN online this year, and practice and get familiar with that, and for teachers to become familiar with administering the test through that online environment. I'm very pleased to be able to say that that's been a great success this last week, and where we've had the opportunity to actually put whole cohorts through and really test both our system and our preparedness for that for the NAPLAN test, which will occur in next term. We've got a couple of really excited young students here with us today who are going to talk about some things that have been happening both at school and in the wider community, and I'm sure you'd agree that the things they have to share are really worth paying attention to. Now, joining me is one of our very talented Creative Arts Academy students, Alex Cochran-Dahl, who has been in a performance, a collaborative performance that's involved a number of other students and professional organisations. Alex, why don't you tell me about your performance?
Our performance involved theatre company Theatre Inc. and local dance company Dance North, as well as Diffraction Collective. And it was a really amazing performance involving 24 kids from many schools across town, so I think maybe 12 different schools, as well as 2 girls from Ingham that came down every weekend.
Fantastic. It must have been really exciting to work alongside these professional organisations. What can you tell us about the performance? What was it like?
The performance was so cool. We honestly didn't know what we were doing until the last few weeks, and we just got to get really close to each other, learn things about each other that we wouldn't have known prior to this experience, and we got to work with amazing technology through projections and lighting and stuff.
Fantastic. And where was the performance?
The performance was held at the Dance North location in the city.
Yep. And did you have a good audience in attendance?
Yes, we had the Junior Creative Arts Academy students from here come to attendance, and we had other schools.
Excellent. That's great. And obviously you're a very committed creative arts student, and so how has this helped your dancing and your work with the Creative Arts Academy at school?
It's helped me learn more different ways I can dance and different types of movement that I can use throughout.
And you're able to incorporate that in your work at school?
Yes.
Fantastic. And of course you're also part of the musical.
Yes.
Why don't we tell everybody about the musical while we're here?
Well, the musical's called Pop Stars. It's an amazing boy girl versus boy band battle of the bands sort of musical.
Okay.
It's got so many pop songs from the 90s and 80s.
Excellent. What's your favourite song?
It'd probably have to be Wanna Be by the Spice Girls.
Okay, all right. I was a child of the 90s. That wasn't my favourite song from the 90s, but I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic performance. Really looking forward to seeing it, and congratulations on all your fantastic achievements, and we look forward to seeing more of what you can do across the remainder of the year. Well, something that's very exciting is we actually have some correspondence here from the office of the Premier, and joining me to discuss that correspondence is Year 10 student Kiana Finiesa. And Kiana, what can you tell people about this letter that we have received, which is from the Chief of Staff of the Premier?
Well, we had the amazing opportunity to come together as Indigenous students and to send letters to politicians locally and statewide. We had the amazing blessing, of course, to have a reply back from one of them, from the Premier of Queensland and Minister Minister for
Education
Trade.
Minister as well, Grace also sent us a letter as well. And of course, when you wrote to the various politicians around Australia, you were talking about some of the work that had happened at Kerwin High that was related, I guess, towards reconciliation. What were some of the things that you were telling these politicians about?
Well, we were just telling them of some of our concerns and having some of our concerns just being put out, having our voice heard.
Yep.
We made points that we should have more opportunities for Indigenous young leaders to have a voice in the community.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, you've been involved in the development of some really significant, I guess, milestones at Kerwin State High School. We have a charter for reconciliation, but also as a member of the Indigenous Young Leaders, you've been involved in the development of our treaty and our Imagination Declaration. Did you tell the Premier of Queensland about some of those things?
Yeah, well, we told them of some of our achievements that we've made in the past years, especially the treaty that we made. That was the first step to having reconciliation improve between Indigenous Australians and non-Indigenous Australians.
And is that something you would like to see various levels of government consider moving towards?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's important for our voices to be heard and our concerns to be addressed.
Well, look, certainly Kerwin High is extremely lucky to have such a wonderful, proud, strong group of Indigenous young leaders at our school, and it has now caught the attention of politicians at the highest level, and justifiably so. You should be very proud of the work that you have undertaken, the work that all of these students and the staff who support them have undertaken. It really does lead the way in many ways, and to have received a response like this from the Chief of Staff from the Premier's office, as well as I said earlier, the response that we received from Grace, the Education Minister, I think is an acknowledgement of the wonderful contribution that you're making towards leadership both here at Kerwin State High School and more broadly across the community. So congratulations, this is wonderful to have this response, and you should be extremely proud of the work that you do. And I also hope that the people who are writing these responses are listening to you, because I think you've got some fantastic ideas. Thank you very much to both Alex and Kiana for joining us today and sharing their respective achievements. I would like to wish all of the students and staff and wider community of Kerwin State High School a very safe, happy and relaxing school holidays. I hope you all get some chocolate and come back to us very excited for a fantastic and no doubt very busy term 2. Thank you.